All right, guys, let's take a quick look at those markets today. Haven't done a video in a couple days because honestly, it's kind of boring. There's really not much going on. But today we do have Bitcoin at about 27,000. Not too bad because last night we dropped down to like 26.7, 26.5. I think in like a flash dump. So we are up a little bit today. You know, a lot of people are saying altcoins are not holding up all that well against Bitcoin. I don't know. I mean, this is your normal stuff. Bitcoin drops a little bit, altcoins drop a little bit more. Cardano is still at 36 cents. That's pretty much where we've been for the last couple months. And Litecoin holding strong at $92. Litecoin is actually one of the top performing altcoins because of the halvenings coming up in August. Been begging people to buy Litecoin over the last 6 months. Let's talk a little bit about Litecoin. As you guys know, Litecoin Foundation Managing Director on Network Activity amid ordinals frenzy. So as you guys know, with Bitcoin, everybody's into the ordinals. And that is what a lot of people are thinking is propping up Litecoin. Litecoin, the 12th largest cryptocurrency by market cap, saw some big gains last week, and it could be because people are using Litecoin for ordinals. Litecoin Foundation Managing Director Alan Alster joins the first mover to discuss. I think so. I think if you see people using Bitcoin, you're going to see people using Litecoin. Litecoin is the silver to Bitcoin. A lot of people are in Litecoin. Every exchange in the world pretty much carries Litecoin. It's one of the most heavily adopted cryptocurrencies. Every payment processor who takes Bitcoin pretty much takes Litecoin. So I see them as kind of going hand in hand. You know, a lot of people always say, wow, Litecoin is underperforming compared to Bitcoin. Folks, that's how it always goes. Bitcoin pumps first, outperforms, then Litecoin catches up, which Litecoin is doing right now. Litecoin has caught up to Bitcoin. Litecoin will outperform Bitcoin in the bull market. This isn't rocket science. This is so simple. Okay, here's a quick little video I found.
Earlier question, but what do you think is the reason why Litecoin hasn't had that kind of buzz, if you will? I mean, you guys are having a halving coming up in August, and of course, Bitcoin has a halving, and you think it's I don't know, like Halley's Comet. People are going crazy over it. Litecoin isn't necessarily generating that sort of buzz you would say in the media, on Twitter, whatever. What do you think is wrong, if you will, with why that doesn't exist?
Yeah, so it's a good question. I don't think it's I don't necessarily think it's wrong as much as that it's not like when we talk about sending money. Like Litecoin was built to be better money. You know, the idea is with Litecoin is to become the best money available. You know, sound money. Sending money, for example, in itself is not nearly as exciting as some of these other things. And we've seen a lot of, well, for one thing, we've seen a lot of new things coming. Some things stick and some things come and go, and they're flashier, and you know they grab the attention of a lot of people. Also, I think a lot of people are looking to chase the next greatest thing in hopes of making, you know, a quick dollar, a 20x, a 50x, or what have you. And that's not really ever been Litecoin's proposition. Litecoin was all about creating, you know, having properties and fundamentals of really good money. And our goal has been to grow adoption worldwide so that people can send value to each other in an inexpensive and very safe way. And I don't know if that's I think it gets overlooked as new things come. But what I see happening is some of those things, while they get exciting initially, a lot of those things sort of come and go. And meanwhile, Litecoin, here we are, you know, going on 12 years, has still keeps ticking along, and the metrics continue to show growth. You know, it's just a slower and steadier, you know, I believe.
In a nutshell, I mean, you kind of want to put it in a nutshell of why Litecoin doesn't get a lot of the attention as some other coins is because it's not a scam. You know, everybody who's texted me over the last couple months about cryptocurrency, it's never about Bitcoin, it's never about Litecoin, it's never about Cardano, it's about Pepe, or about the Ben token, or about some token that I had somebody text me last week about some token. I never even heard of it. I looked it up. I was like, and then it was a confirmed scam that pumped that. I forget, it was some meme coin, but it was like a complete rug pull. So the thing with Litecoin is it's solid gains, 15, 20, 25x gains from the low of the bear market, and it's just easy money. So you have the Litecoin halving coming up in August, which I can't believe it. It's only a couple months away. I expect Litecoin to double. I really do, and it could even do more than a double. I bought most of my Litecoin at between $65 and $75 this run. I bought a little bit more at like $82. I don't have a ton of Litecoin, but I knew because of the halving it was going to pump. I totally expected at least minimally 2 to 3x my Litecoin position by the halving. Then I'm probably going to sell, and then I'll probably buy back in after the dump, and then I'll hold the rest of my Litecoin going into the Bitcoin halving, which should bring Litecoin up to between $600 and $1,000. So, and the great thing I like about Litecoin is I don't have to worry about it being a scam. You know, a lot of other coins you invest in, like Solana, even Matic, DOT, Shiba, Arbitron, you always have to worry about one day you're going to wake up and read an article that says it rug pulled on you. The founder quit, like with Phantom. I know a guy who was in Phantom, and he lost like 90% because because the founder decided to quit. Then he sold everything, and the founder came back, and then it pumped again. You don't have to worry about all that with Litecoin. And that's why I like Litecoin. It's one of the first coins I ever bought in cryptocurrency. I bought it high at $250 in 2017, but I cost averaged my Litecoin throughout the years going into the bear market, and I did very well with Litecoin. Now, of course, it didn't give me the gains that Cardano gave me or Theta or anything like that. But Litecoin is at least something I can buy and say, oh, I don't have to worry about this thing getting rugged on me. And that says a lot in crypto because a lot of these coins are scams. Now, the other thing everybody's talking about is, you know, this story that came out on CNBC. Fed Kashakari says a June pause on interest rates hikes wouldn't indicate an end to hiking cycle. So now the narrative is, oh my God, the Fed might pause in June, but then they might raise again in the coming months. Folks, this guy isn't even part of the Fed. I think he's like some retired guy. He's just talking out of his ass. You know, everything the Fed does with these interest hikes is a delayed reaction. So they've been raising rates for the last year, and they killed a bunch of banks off. They're not going to be raising rates unless there's like an emergency situation. Most likely they're going to pause in June and probably just continue to pause throughout the summer. If they end up raising again one or two more times, who cares? I mean, they're not going to raise forever. People are acting like, oh my God, if they have to raise rates one or two more times, it's the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. So I think this is overblown. And I do think come June, when if the Fed does pause, which I think they do, you're going to see Bitcoin right back above $30,000. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. Could be wrong. Maybe none of this will happen. I'm just kind of like guessing. But I really do think Bitcoin will be over $30,000 if that happens. And this guy's just one guy giving his opinion. And I guess he's right to a point. I mean, if there's something going on in the world where they have to raise again or whatever, they're going to do it. But the way everything's looking, with everything being a delayed reaction, is they're probably going to pause, and that's probably it. We've already seen a bunch of banks collapse, folks. I mean, okay, maybe they'll raise one more time or something like that. But for the most part, this whole rate hike thing is over. But people get so worried about stuff that doesn't matter. Found this story, as you guys know, BitBoy was involved in some pump and dump or meme coin. He got this Ben coin. He told nobody was going to sell it. Then he ended up selling all of it. And this guy who like makes art online made this video, made this picture of Ben and Andrew Tate, basically have the shit all over them, their shit covered ass. And it's just like the coolest freaking picture. I wish I could just I want to get a picture of this. And I'm actually thinking about it, to be honest with you. I'm actually thinking of making this into a poster and hanging it up in my man cave, because this just goes to show. And then Andrew Tate came out and said, stop basically including me with cryptocurrency pump and dumpers. I don't even care about crypto, and they're all pump and dump scams anyway. So just it goes to show, nobody takes BitBoy seriously, and I think that's probably the best thing for him. I think with all the negativity that happened with him over the last year, yeah, he gets a lot of views and he's funny to watch and all that, but I think his reputation now is to the point where it's just kind of like a joke. People watch him to laugh, and this guy, just basically called him out right here. You are a pump and dumper, and you have shit all over you. So I encourage people to look. This is just a really cool picture. And And I don't know. I was just, when I saw this picture last week, I was just like cracking up. So the guy just has no respect. But the funny thing is, all these guys right now are in Bitcoin Miami. All the influencers now are in Bitcoin Miami. You have George here with his Bitcoin. Look at George here. He's wearing his little swabby sport coat and all that. The funny thing with George is a lot of these guys, I would say like half the people in Bitcoin Miami are all the people who showed you scams over the years. Like Cryptos R Us was a big Luna guy, UST guy. He got so many people into BlockFi and Celsius. And here he is, like for some reason, the biggest sleazebags, and I don't consider him to be a sleazebag. With George, I'll just say he was wrong. He made a lot of money off Bitcoin, shilling it, but the guy was just wrong in the bear market, getting people into these BlockFi, Celsius, Luna, UST, everything. I mean, you could throw it. He was advertising all the scams on his page, and here they are in Miami. Same with BitBoy. So that's why, like, no matter how much money I ever make in Bitcoin, and maybe I won't make that much money in Bitcoin, but if I did, I would never go to this Bitcoin Miami thing, because it's basically like just 80% scammers. Now, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was the speaker there, which I do respect him. But the thing is, like, the worst thing about cryptocurrency is it's not like traditional investing. Like, if a guy like George or BitBoy or whoever got hired with like a big investment firm like T. Rowe Price or something like that or whatever, and they became an investor analyst and they were recommending the scams like Luna, UST, and blah, blah, blah to their people, they'd be fired and maybe even get charged with a crime. But the funny thing about crypto is, since it's kind of unregulated and everybody's kind of stupid, the biggest people who recommended the worst projects are still like in the space and they just kind of hang on. And for some reason, they still have a following. So the one thing about my channel is I like to call those people out. Like, doesn't mean like George is a bad person, but the guy shilled every scam in the book. I don't think he knew they were scams, but even if you don't know they're scams, that kind of shows you don't have a great gauge on the market. Same with BitBoy, and God, there's so many other ones I can't even go through the list. But this Bitcoin Miami is kind of like a degenerate sleazeballs, hangout. And Miami's kind of a fake town anyway. Not sure if anybody's been to Miami. It's kind of just a bunch of fake people, and it's really the perfect place to host all these, host the sleaze of the cryptocurrency space. So anyway, not sad I missed the Bitcoin Miami thing. These 4 altcoins could be ready for an up. We already talked about this, but Litecoin, of course, being on the list. Litecoin's really like the main coin I'm just thinking about right now because of the halving. It's boring, folks. We're probably going to have like at least another 6 months to a year of this bear market. The Bitcoin halving isn't for another 9 or 10 months. So we're going to see a lot of pumps. We're going to see a lot of dumps. But the one coin on my radar right now, the easiest moneymaker is Litecoin. All right, did I miss anything else? Blah, 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 blah. We already covered that. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Bitcoin's doing the same thing it's been doing for the last couple months. There's nothing all that interesting. It's even hard for me to make a video sometimes. Even with the Bitcoin Miami, I think I read that that attendance was down 50%, which happens every bear market. So this is like the depths of the bear market. And I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin dominance goes up a little bit and some of these altcoins actually get hurt a little bit more than Bitcoin. I think we're going to kind of go into a low area at some point in the next couple months where everybody's kind of back to saying everything's over and the altcoins are over and everybody kind of goes into Bitcoin. And then I think we're going to go into that bull market. So just hold on tight, folks, and enjoy your summer. And just remember, this time next year, it's going to be a totally different world in the cryptocurrency space. It's going to be like rags to riches stories, like happens every bull market. But we're in that part right now where it's just honestly, it's boring. It is boring. All right, like and subscribe. Talk to you later.